This is Sportscentre.
Hey, I'm Marissa Roberto on this digital sports center presented by Montana's Barbecue and Bar. And over the past few days, there have been a number of reports about trade talks heating up. Well, nothing's happened yet. It did get us thinking about some moves we saw last season. And since we're at the halfway point of the year, today's a good time to check in and see how some of those moves have worked out. We'll start on draft night, where the Vegas Golden Knights traded goaltender Logan Thompson to the Capitals for a pair of third-round picks. The deal was under the radar at the time, and even though Thompson was a former All-Star, expectations were not the highest for the Caps coming into 2025. But boy, were they wrong, as this trade was a huge win for Washington. They have the most points in the NHL, and as of today, he's top 3 in wins, goals against average, and save percentage. And his play in net is a big reason why Washington is sitting atop the standings. Don't worry, we'll have a little more about their game against Edmonton later in the show. Now let's go to the biggest free agent signing in the offseason, as it's been a season to forget for Steven Stamkos and the Predators. After falling to the Canucks in the first round last year, the Preds made several moves to get over the hump, and it seemed like they were on track to do so when they signed Stamkos to a 4-year deal. But they've instead taken a huge step back, as they are 29th in the standings. And unless we see things change drastically, they're going to miss the playoffs. While the struggles haven't been all on Stamkos, his decline has been a big factor, as he's scoring on his lowest rate since his rookie season. Considering what they're paying him, the deal has not aged well. But we're going to end on a positive note, and that's with the Habs and their trade for Patrik Laine. And while he was injured to start the season, I've got to say the deal has been pretty amazing so far since his return. He played just 18 games in 2024, so Montreal was able to acquire him for relatively cheap, and even picked up an extra second-round pick in the deal. And with his performance so far this season, the trade looks even better. Laine has a goal in 2/3 of his games, and is just off a point-per-game pace. And he's been one of the league's best threats on the power play. While the Habs don't look like they'll be cup contenders this year, Laine has proven that he can be part of the core going forward. This all goes to show how off-season moves can really help shape a team. And in my personal experience with Laine on the Habs, when he buried that goal in the first period of that game the Leafs came back to have 7 unanswered, I felt a little death inside of me, okay? It was so good that the whole building erupted like I've never heard fans before. So it was fun for a moment for them. Time now for the Big Play Replay presented by Montana's Barbecue and Bar. And this goal is absolutely cold-blooded, and I love it. Let's go to Utah. Logan Cooley hits the Jets with a no-look.
Sandberg, all he could do was get there, but he was unable to keep it in. Now Cooley's got it. Logan Cooley right in, scores!
Watch the look off. Pass, nope, shoot. And that one he was selling to Hellebuck. He had the top corner that he earned from his eyes. That's a beautiful release.
On the surface level, yeah, great goal. But is it sizzling enough for the Montana's Big Play Replay? Well, wait until you see this angle. In slow-mo, you can see his little peekaboo at the corner of his eye to know exactly where he was putting it. Ooh, that's special. To the association and Raptors fans, things were going right to plan. They were cruising toward the bottom before doing the unthinkable. Back-to-back wins against the Warriors and Celtics? And honestly, Raps, that's quite enough. They came back to earth Friday with a loss to the Bucks, but luckily things have been in their favor around the rest of the league, as they're finding a way to slide in the standings. They're currently second last in the entire NBA, with only Washington below them. That's because the Pelicans and Hornets are kind of tanking the tank. New Orleans has won 4 straight and are actually 7-3 in their last 10, while the Hornets have won 3 straight. The Pelicans even came back from 25 down last night in Utah, as the Jazz moved to 3rd in the race for Cooper Flagg. So the Raps need to keep on losing tonight against Orlando, but the odds make it seem like this one could be a close one, as the depleted Magic, without Jalen Suggs and Franz Wagner, are just a 1.5 favorites. On the Raps side of things, they will be without Emmanuel Quickly again tonight, who's missing his 4th straight game. And you can watch the Raptors and Magic tonight on TSN. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. It's Tuesday, so you know what that means. Time to hit you with some anytime goal scorer action. And if you've been paying attention, well, we are riding a little 2-game hot streak, as Michael Bunting buried 2 weeks ago, and Austin Matthews last week. As today we're going with Leon Draisaitl to score against the Caps at +125. And honestly, we cannot wait for this game. The Caps are 1st in the entire NHL and the Oilers are 5th. So we're hoping for some fireworks. In his career, Draisaitl does fairly well against Washington, scoring .60 goals per game, which is 8th highest in terms of goals per game by opponent. Now if you're thinking there's no Connor McDavid, why are you guys doing this? Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing when it comes to Leon scoring. In 57 career games without McDavid in the lineup, Draisaitl is still over a point per game player, putting up 20 goals and 39 assists in those games. And we expect one of those points to be a goal tonight at +125. So yeah, electric game, but it's even spicier when you put a little 10 on it. Just put 10. You put a little 10, you know? That's it for me today. We'll see you back in tomorrow 3 Eastern. No Pacific! Have a good one.